SK doesn't hurry this up, it's going to be a 4-man stack here, but that's the opening kill. Taco finds one. Zipnik's got to play perfectly in the pit.
Oh, he's got a chance of doing so, but now the support's here, and that's important actually. Device being able to find Fur alleviates some of the stress from Zipnix, but he's just seems a little unaware, seems a little bit kind of surrounded at this point, and beautiful play from Device coming right through that smoke, playing on the edge of it, and he gets a freebie towards coldzera. Incredibly important that Zipnix stayed alive. He cost them so much attention, he made all of them have to keep note of him, but Fallen now, no armor. Having to play back into this is looking very unlikely.
Yeah, and this round is just, again, like Zipnix's movement and positioning is so nice. 2 players down very, very low. The Goosh is not going the way of SK. They bring Zipnix down to 1, Glaive down to 7, and that's the thing. Him surviving back there, even if it's just with 1 HP, it just keeps so many people occupied. You can see when the rotations do come in, they prevent anyone from swinging wide on Zipnix, and also you can see Taco trying to find the angle in the bomb site along the wall, and that's just an easy kill when he moves out of that position. So nice work from Astralis, getting the read down Banana and rotating over in a timely fashion.
Yeah, good start as well. SK, though, straight back into this. They do have the Tech 9s, got the armor. 1 smoke and a flash, and that's it. So Taco's the one to probably set this piece up if there is anything to be coming through. But at the moment, you can already see that early banana play. Starting to go through the motions here. Glaive and Zipnix, both working this one out. Deep mollies down, exuding control, and keeping SK at arm's length.
Yeah, Fallen just looking for some aggression up mid with that scout. It's not happening, though, in a deep smoke. The base of Banana is going to allow Zipnix and Glaive to get a bit aggressive on it. Device still feeling no pressure whatsoever. SK with these pistols and the scout, they only have a smoke and a flashbang to work with. And the smoke is currently in halls, so no indication of where that's going to be going quite yet.
Kind of hard to do anything with it from here unless he just puts it down towards, I guess, the quad side of things and just plays it off by the cart. Now, Device makes a little bit of noise, backs away.
This is a nice defense as well from Astralis. 3 players on the lane side of things. Diggity, as the Australians call it. Here's some pressure over towards the B bomb site. Zipnik's currently a little bit blinded up, but still, I mean, SK's just looking for any kind of mistake, and Astralis isn't giving him anything.
Yeah.
The only real option that SK has, and obviously they don't know it, is the wrap side of the A bomb site are splitting over towards B, but that's where their pistols are going to be least effective at those ranges.
Yeah, and there goes that 1 smoke they had, and that's to the balcony. Now, I'm pretty sure it's dupreeh watching the push out, and he'd definitely see or at least hear it, minimum. kjaerbye as well watching it too, and down to 17 seconds. There really isn't much time to play with. Somehow SK have felt out the fact that maybe there's just not that much pressure from CTH, and they are going to go for the wrap here, but Device kind of positioned towards being able to watch it, and yeah, dupreeh now comes into the action, but he does trade out eventually, but kjaerbye is still there in pit. They still got bodies up at this site, and they do contain the threat. They lose out on dupreeh, but the last 2 players pretty much deny everything else.
Thank God SK died at the end there. That was so close to being just a disaster.
Yeah,
Multiple players not having money. Really running that down, and yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you're going to be playing against Astralis and you're going to be looking at them to make a mistake, you know, applying pressure and hoping someone's going to peek into it, it's Astralis isn't the team that's going to give you that. They play some of the most disciplined Counter-Strike we currently have in the scene.
Yeah, they're normally very mentally aware of the opponents they play against. And this is something I enjoy. And this round's kind of irrelevant to a degree. If it goes right, it's kind of a little bit awkward at the moment, but they love aggression on this map specifically. You'll see them playing down mid a hell of a lot. Once those AWPs come into play, it can be happening all the time. It does get a little bit problematic when basically SK have just taken over team mid, so
That's
be
the
a little
thing.
careful.
That's usually when you see this kind of mid aggression really turn into like a disaster, is when there's no initial kills. Is teams sometimes don't have a plan after that of like, what comes if we don't find the 2 to 3 kills? Where do we go from there? This time Astralis is able to manage it very, very nicely, having a plan, keeping their eye on everything, and not panicking around the fact that SK hasn't really shown themselves.
So I wonder if we're going to see the 3 B players. They put dupreeh over to B, over towards B, and they leave Device almost not necessarily on his own towards A. I think kjaerbye normally plays there, but a little bit more passively, and they just want to kind of use all of dupreeh's utility, let Device actually get some play down mid, and just kind of focus them in so Device gets even more play.
And we won't see this play from Device too often in the middle portion of the round. He just knows he's not going to be facing against an AWP, and the timing just kind of tells him to retreat. He's risking enough as it was, but no one from SK swinging too wide. This is given great opportunity down Banana for Astralis to gain a foothold as that smoke is up. It's just delay tactics coming out from the Danes. No one really watching halls at the moment early on. kjaerbye's underneath the balcony. And there's the flash through. SK wants to take back control of Banana, and they're going to get it. That's a pretty easy give up for Zipnix. Didn't have the teammates there to hold it.
Yeah, they only have a smoke and a flash between the two B players. They actually don't have much to hold this with, but Xyp9x is a bit of a god at locking this site down. Let's be very real about it. If they actually went for the hit, and you can see how quickly Device also switched over towards this. SK haven't made many inroads here. I guess they've pushed back that banana control. That's something. They do have apps control to a degree. Not completely, but coldzera's got, you know, a foot in the right direction.
Just look at how mobile Astralis is on this defensive side of things. Device starting things off over at A. As soon as pressure's felt in Banana, he rotates over towards B bomb site. They want to have Device at the point of attack. And at the moment, it's kind of a feint from SK. They've thrown the smokes. Now they're switching up towards an A hit.
Now, let's see if they continue to read this correctly. SK do love to throw a good old fake here or there, but Molly comes in. That's from kjaerbye, but Fallen, Fur, all working their way around towards CT Arch, and passively it's going to be Glaive playing out. Library, but gets outdone. Fur quicker on the trigger, and now there's trouble afoot. kjaerbye's playing very passive towards Pit, and dupreeh needs to somehow replicate that, but the problems are coming in from CT Arch, and you're going to see it right now. kjaerbye gets overwhelmed, gets dropped in on, and dupreeh only finds one. It's SK coming up with the goods. Very last minute as well. Device going to catch one in the heels, but with 6 seconds left, this is a very last minute pretty much play.
Yeah, really nice play from Taco as well, biding his time in those holes and jumping down as soon, not even showing himself, not even making any presence known until he knows that player's in Pit, until that's the player that has to be eliminated, coming in just at the right moment just for that one key kill. Device no chance to even rotate over. Good positioning, good trading from SK. It's going to be a little bit worrying, though, is you got to keep your eye on this clock for SK. They're showing a couple rounds now. It's still very early on that they're going to run this clock down below 30 seconds. That's something that could be problematic. But a big round win here in this first gun round. They're going to survive with 2. Device is going to keep that AWP. The money's not great for Astralis, so, I mean, this next round is going to be critically important for both teams.
Both SK players surviving towards Pit, and yeah, this pacing from SK. Do they normally play this slow?
This was one of the things that actually, when they started their kind of decline towards the end of last year, that people started really catching on to, is the fact that their T side started being much slower, had a lot less conviction to them. Like, when they weren't finding some of those picks as Fallen's op has kind of dropped off, so they didn't really have a clear-cut idea of where they were going to be going. It's just something we have to keep track of.
Okay. Just a small change, because I never recalled them playing that down to the wire.
They're another one of the very good teams at changing pace when they feel like it's necessary. They can pick things up as well, obviously, when you have guys like Fur and coldzera leading the way.
God, yeah. We saw what Taku can do just yesterday too. Let's be real. This guy, you know, he's no slouch at the moment. We still have Device on the AWP though. Fallen smoke, I think, goes to the cart at the moment. coldzera lining one up towards probably the deeper side of the arch. Device going to fall back towards playing a little bit towards the library. dupreeh's in a bit of a pickle here though. He's going to try and back away from this, but the smoke just about saves him. It's not even his, so thank you, SK, for that. Device trying to find some relevance to this round, but they've completely lost control of A. Yeah,
look at these smokes. Very nicely done. Small Pit has one, that Rapside has one, and just that one kill onto kjaerbye, who's playing in Pit. That ends things. Really nicely done from SK. They just hit that bomb site, and I mean, Astralis showing a lot of presence over towards Rap, weakens the bomb site, and as soon, I mean, it's very wise as well from Astralis, as soon as that player's dropped, don't try and do too much, don't try and go for it. You're going to have another very, very good buy into the next round with the guns you're able to save here. So another chance to keep competitive on these CT rounds.
I think just about everyone agrees it's still one of the hardest maps to play retake on from either side. I'd say B is harder, but just because the crossfire you can set up is so perfect, but even A is almost impossible.
Well, especially if they get into the bomb site with no deaths, right? Especially if there's 5 people, then you just have so much work to do, not a lot of utility, and obviously you can see only a couple of kits, so the wrong kills go the wrong way, or the wrong people die, and all of a sudden you don't have access to that. So very good from SK that time, this time changing the point of their attack. It's not Rap side, it's not a Blaine, it's out the halls. And Astralis, I mean, the Caribbean pitch has had no support.
Very, very isolated. It was strange seeing dupreeh at CT Arch. He doesn't normally play it. Normally he's kind of the support player on Diggity, on that sort of side of things. But SK so far, they seem to have worked something out a little bit here. They've kind of found that way back in. They have exploited A a couple of times now, maybe needing a bit of a change up here from Astralis. But they do at least have the utility to try and create something. But then again, SK, known for those switches in pace, like to kind of pick it up every now and then. We'll see if they maybe put their foot down a little bit harder. Maybe not. They don't really need to. At this point, they seem to have worked out a little bit of what was happening before. Flash goes over from felps, not really tendering towards early banana control.
This time, Astralis has switched things up, gone a little bit more to that style you just touched on, dupreeh playing in lane, kjaerbye and Pit. And the op on Device going to be over towards Banana. It'll be interesting to see if they want Device to be the rotator in this scenario, if they're just going to leave him alone to peer down Banana with that AWP, have the long range of the information gathering available to him.
This map is still so hard to rotate from, especially if you do this sort of play where you have these players dedicated towards Diggity side, towards Pit. It's a genuinely long, old run. So if Device does go down, it could be problematic. But at the moment, it's Glaive sat there as the player to kind of pull himself through. Device still over by Banana as we speak. I wonder if SK are going to actually dedicate themselves towards this A hit. It's hard to kind of read their pacing at the moment. They do like to kind of keep us guessing a little here, but Xyp9x has now worked his way through as well, and these are the same smokes. So you're going to have, I think it's Fallen does the one towards the truck, coldzera does the one towards the deeper arch, or this could be a different kind of variation of it, where we're going to see the ones that Chad spoke about. Again, Molly's now coming in. Astralis aren't actually giving anything up here, and this looks like it could be a fake.
Yeah, it is. They're falling back towards B. It's all on Device. He gets that first kill. Nothing to block him off. And Fallen now has to decide if he wants to continue going for it. He's going to go for the peak. Device shuts him down. They're trying to split the B bomb site, but 2 players from Astralis watching rap side, 2 players watching lane. They just have absolutely nothing in that round. This is why you choose to save early on. 4 guns, and that's a very, very strong round in terms of utility that they have to bring to bear, that they're able to overwhelm SK on the offense.
Yeah, and that's it's credit to Device there, really. If he wasn't able to get those 2, that could have been game back on, but he held his ground. He didn't over-rotate. It was very well played, and this again might be that slightly more aggressive stance from Device now. We're going to see dupreeh over by B, maybe switching it up again. We'll see.
You have to, if you're going to run that kind of a fake, though, you can't let an Opper just have that perch, right? It's so hard to contend with him. He's at least going to get 1 at this level.
Yeah. They never tended for it earlier, right?
Yeah, it's something where you either need to take control of it early on, force him back so he doesn't have the information, but I mean, with him there, it just kind of stops all of your plans. Felps had to rotate all the way back down from top mid to Banana to even get in position.
Well, SK have been given over apps control, but it doesn't necessarily seem to give as much as it used to. I don't know why, if it just feels a little different, but at the moment we haven't seen SK utilizing it too much just yet, and haven't really committed to much at the moment either. So I'm just going to delay, going to back away from B now, play a little bit more deep towards the sights. Harko starting to maybe have a little look out of the balcony.
This is a round where actually SK is poised much better, obviously, to do that kind of a fake if they had wanted to. I mean, this is where they've had Felps at the top of Banana pretty much this whole time. No one's at cart. They've cleared the top of it. Fallen and coldzera could fall back. They just don't have the utility, obviously, and maybe not run the same plan, but just having that control of top Banana, that's exactly what you need for that fake to work out a little bit better. Again, Astralis with 3 defenders over towards lane. And this is going to be a B hit. Fur in the underpass. Taco's turned into a little bit of a lurker in these halls. He wants to catch kjaerbye rotating out of pit. But kjaerbye will likely be the last one to move when this hit eventually does come in on the B bomb site.
But this is when you want to look at Xyp9x in these and see if SK can work this out. They've got 20 seconds. They've left this so late. Anything goes wrong, it's problematic. But look at Felps. He's just worked his way right around the back towards Ruins. This is a huge issue, but he doesn't have enough time to be allowed to be played into this as much. They've left this so late. They're down to 10 seconds. Phelps will be able to pull the trigger in time, but Xyp9x, if he hinders anything more, it's a huge problem. And actually, Astralis are here, but look at that. Bulldozer effect from coldzera, taking 2 fights and winning them both. dupreeh gets some damage, but that's not quite enough just yet. Still 2v3 in these off plant positions, they're good.
That's going to test the courage of your players, running the clock down that low, knowing Felps has the perfect flank, just trying to buy time for him. kjaerbye's got to win this fight, but he's not able to. For whether it's spotted the shadow or just the elbow too quickly, kjaerbye can't even respond appropriately, and dupreeh's just got to kind of quietly try and slink away from this one. Hopefully no one spots him out. But that is a round from SK that is so difficult to pull off. The kind of composure you have to have when there's 6 seconds left before Felps is even really making that turn is huge. dupreeh going for some exit kills. He's going to grab 1. He's going to grab Taco. He's going to die for his efforts. SK get their 3rd.
Yeah, and as you said, having the patience, and I think this is coldzera's perspective. Yeah. While this was all happening, of course, there was that flank that just came in, and it worked out so well. Maybe you'd seen whoever it was up there. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Glaive, probably, I can imagine, because it was Xyp9x tucked in towards first. If maybe you'd been able to kind of impact that crossfire, that could have been a little bit different.
Well, the dangerous part of that, if you're Glaive, is you're saying, you know, or if you're Felps, excuse me, as the clock is running down, is when do you start making footsteps? When do you start running? Because you had to speed things up. Glaive gets dropped easily by Fallen. But yeah, I mean, Felps manages that flank so perfectly, pounces at exactly the right moment as his teammates are pressuring it because there's just no time left to wait.
And a nice early advantage sitting in the pocket of SK. Feels like a little bit of a, it hasn't been a consistent factor for them. It's been hard fought for these late kind of round hits. Don't necessarily give you that early man advantage, but somehow working that out. Glaive, dropping the ball a touch there, but Device now kind of pick up the mantle. He is going to solo out on B. This is, again, a tough position for this man, but he did rise to the occasion before. Felps, drop out a smoke and just kind of continue to play this one out, but again, could be that. Ooh, that's awkward. Gonna have to abort off that.
Yeah, and SK just poised in middle, waiting for these smokes to fade. They still have 3 of their own, 2 Molotovs as well. They have a pretty large amount of their playbook available to them. Taco's got positioning deep into halls. Xyp9x is kind of considering cheating over towards the B bomb site. A lot of faith in Device there, obviously, alone with the AWP. Xyp9x, no information, spamming through the smoke. SK still not committing anywhere. 35 seconds left on the clock. They've came into this game with a very, very slow-paced game plan.
And this isn't necessarily the SK that we saw yesterday either. This is different. This is a new look to them, maybe specific to this match. But right now, Xyp9x is going to claim the scalp of 1, but trades it out for coldzera, who will fight him back. So, dupreeh in towards pit. This crossfire is pretty hard to break down, but they don't have much time. They can't particularly go B. I think they're kind of stuck here at this point. But kjaerbye only has that UMP, and now dupreeh has to come up with the goods. He has got players left, right, and center, and felps is right in front. 8 seconds left. The bomb going down as we speak in the safety corner. That's with Fallen. Taco falls towards Graveyard, but gets spotted out again. dupreeh still trying to fight this, but Device is so far away.
Yeah, dupreeh did everything he could there, and maybe with some more fortunate timing, he would have been able to get more. But again, SK with just phenomenal trading, and Taco, one more time, his entire purpose in this tactic and in his position in halls is to kill that one pit player when he's being fought from range. And he's done it a couple times now to great effect, but more so than anything, we saw a couple very cool setups from both teams on that wrap side. Is one, Xyp9x throwing the underhand flash, and then just a second after that, a teammate throws a flash. So if SK turns from the first, they get blinded by the second. Then Xyp9x peeks, and he gets the 1 kill towards a player going towards CT spawn, but Cold pounces out of the smoke and is able to get him with a nice trade setup as well. So both teams obviously utilizing a lot of teamwork to gain any ground.
Yeah, this feels like such a cerebral game as well between both teams. Seeing this pace from SK, and seeing Astralis not really having... I don't know that many teams who play this sort of very slow, methodical style. You look at the other teams who play this at the moment, you look at, I guess, Fnatic, one of them, FaZe as well, have a very similar approach to this. To a degree, I think you can argue. I know that they approach it with that mindset as well. They're both very like pick-centric, and they like to kind of play off the back of it. They do have more to their depth, but you don't often see this sort of patience from a T side, and not to this extreme.
Yeah, some of these rounds have been very, very close to the wire. SK kind of toying with a little bit of danger on them. Stack over towards the B bomb site, all pistols. Fur hasn't seen one in the fountain. Still can't see it at all. That's such a difficult spot to manage. That's an AK down. It's the UMP's turn.
And felps, I think, having to kind of check himself a little bit there. Just like, oh, do I really want to go for this? The bomb's actually still down by T stairs, which Device could have maybe spotted out, but I'm going to go for it. And they actually might be gearing up to go for this B hit. They're actually going to go right into the stack. Now, yeah, they're only on pistols, but it's still kind of scary. Felps is going to find Xyp9x. Looks for more, sprays in towards Coils and kjaerbye.
Oh no.
My god, how? How have you done this? How do you get away with this, kjaerbye? How have they not seen him? What is going on? Has he got an invisibility cloak or something? I don't understand this.
That's brilliant. kjaerbye holding the discipline, holding the trigger for as long as possible. SK, they execute right into the stack, and it works perfectly. Fallen, oh, that would have been a huge shot to hit, but he does with the Tech 9. But again, it's kjaerbye just lurking with the silence USP, and that was the thing. He gets that first kill, and they have no concept of where it's come from. This is beautiful. Look at the patience to make sure he can line up the shot perfectly. Easy kill for him, and they just have no clue among all the chaos.
What is that? That's mad. And look at what it's done to SK as well. Their money's just gone now. That's insane to see.
And for the amount of cautious and patience they've had in the previous rounds with how slow paced, that seems like the complete opposite of what they've done up to that point.
Yeah, a little bit mind blowing there, but still, at this point, Device got to be careful. You don't want to get overrun by Tech 9s or P250s. So falls back a little bit more passively, holding a more a deeper angle. Fur trying to find a little bit of play through the side of that smoke. There's a little edge that he's given himself, or he's found for himself, should I say, has fallen, going to crouch into his glaive, just backs away.
Again, this is a little bit more passive even of a defense. Glaive over towards spawn archers, dupreeh and kjaerbye, a little crossfire in the bomb site. And Pit and SK, they have to be a bit more aggressive this time. They don't have the smokes for an execute, so it's all on this deagle. Glaive is going to be the first one up. Gets that kill easily. No damage taken. Gonna fall back into safety. Meanwhile, dupreeh's burned Taco alive in holes, and there's another one for Glaive. Clotheslining Fur. And this is pretty much all over. A double for dupreeh is gonna end it 6-4.
Astralis keep money building, which is important for them considering their economy was, a little back and forward at this point. But SK's money, curious to see what they're going to go for in this. And that's just dupreeh's perspective. They have decent enough money, but it's just not great. It's not
on the edge, isn't
shape,
it? Yeah. They're going to have the AKs. It's just the utility. For some of those slow-paced, drawn-out rounds, they have to be very, very cautious with how they use all these smokes and flashbangs. They've only got 3 of each.
kind of want them just because of this to try maybe going for something a little different, or maybe just going for that same hit, but maybe just a bit quicker, because they just can't withstand long. They have to kind of commit at some point quicker. And it looks like they are doing something a little bit different. Bomb going through towards apartments. That's a new look. And I think they might have heard a step here because dupreeh's already mollied it out.
Well, Device is boosted up over the smoke on that wall, so he sees absolutely nothing. That's why Astralis is able to cheat 4 over this early on. Here comes the hit. It's going to be desperate, though. One in the sight. dupreeh is going to shut things down. This defense from Astralis is too strong. A great read, even with Fallen's kill, but that's it. That's all SK is going to get on the entrance. And it's down to Cole to do something, but he can't. There's just too much Astralis.
Too much Astralis.
You like that? That was pretty good.
I do. No, I do. That's very nice. But I feel for SK. I don't know if someone stepped, because I know that Device saw a lot, don't get me wrong, and maybe they expected them on a lesser buy, so it does kind of make sense, but I'm wondering if they heard something just because how quickly they mollied that out and instantly turned towards it. But it is what it is. SK now, again, suffering through this. They're already in a very low buy before, and now they're down to the Tech 9s, a little bit of armor, touch of utility, and ooh, that nade hurts.
They ate that nade so hard. Fur's going to lead the way, but he's ahead of everyone. Ooh, nice flick from Device, showing off for us a little bit there, and everyone else is just so low. These smokes probably won't even matter. Device with another op kill. Gonna miss that one, but Xyp9x is here for the backup. Goes for the pistol whip, and he just can't peek anymore. He's gonna let his teammates do the work, and they do it for him. 8-4 now. Astralis, off the back of USPs, have just rattled off 4 straight.
I just like seeing Sonic clapping in the background. He's like a proud parent. He's like, yes!
Yeah, I know, right?
Nice. It's brilliant to see. I've got to say, the Astralis guys are a passionate lot when you watch them out. They've got, I think, their coaches out here as well, the managers out here. They all just kind of appear in force.
Yeah.
They're all
well,
over.
everyone likes going to Australia.
Any
everyone
excuse.
likes the beach.
Yeah, very true. You went out to the beach.
I did go
lovely.
to the beach.
That's now my background on everything that I own.
Yeah,
the pictures of
the dad bod
broadcasters.
display.
I loved it.
It was good stuff.
All about that life.
Mm-hmm.
But let's kind of discuss this now, because it seems that SK's plan to play slow, I don't know if they've got a full answer to it yet, Astralis, but they've certainly come up with enough to kind of hamper this approach.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, the last couple times we've seen SK with their rounds, they haven't been able to do that slow approach. Like this previous round that we just saw, or the one before that pistol rush they just did. They just didn't have the utility to kind of draw a round out like that and still have utility for the late round. And obviously, a very, very good read from Astralis. I mean, that's one of the big benefits of this Danish side and why they've been so powerful for so long. Their information plays on the CT side are so very good. They're able to rotate appropriately, and they're able to get the reads in a timely fashion. So that's something that's got to be a little bit worried. A couple times SK's dropped the ball a little bit on having control of Banana, and that's allowed SK to pull a rotation over.
Device this time actively holding the peak. First flash comes in. He's going to fall off the angle. That does allow, I think that's felps to get a little bit closer and slowly gaining some control. Again, they're still not working with that perfect smoke, flash, molly, anything. They are on a little bit of a lesser keel at the moment. Device has to be careful because you can see that SK are just raring to get around that corner and fight him out, but felps. Always jiggle peeking that corner like a champion. He does win the fight as well. That's so big for them. Pretty much something for free, because they barely took damage from that. A lot of utility spent, though. Yeah,
I mean, that's a huge kill to find. That also forces Glaive on the rotate over, so they're blocked off from doing anything. Still a minute left in the round, but now you can see a little bit more pressure is going to be applied. This position from dupreeh is actually extremely brutal. So when does kjaerbye make his move? Here's the Molotov out. It's going to force him up. That might split him. It is, but Fur's going to win the fight anyways. There goes dupreeh. Taco coming out of Boiler, checking exactly that position, and they're going to clean him out, even without the utility that we've seen them need in the past. That's a bit awkward. Felps finds that with the AWP.
Yeah.
So T-sided up now.
Yeah. Only Felps, though. It's T-sided off.
He'll pass that over.
He will 100% pass it over. This is what I was looking out for, and I was wondering if we were going to see this. Double up on Astralis.
Okay. So that'll probably make, and it's on Xyp9x as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing them. I mean, Device, we know he's a very mobile opera. I wouldn't mind seeing one of them get perched up into halls and just go for that one pick, or down mid works nicely as well. But we've seen a couple times SK take control of halls. It seems like a lot of teams don't really want to mess with halls early on the CT side. That's a perfect nade. What a catch from felps.
Well, he doesn't need the AWP yet. And, well, he had to go on it, you know? You have a trial for free, and then the subscription just kicked in and it's fallen. Just like, no, not for you. Anyway, 4v3. Fallen, Taco, and coldzera looking for some sort of redemption here to find their way back into this. And Taco still has apps control, but nothing to really play from it at this point.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, this is a split defense as well. Device with the AWP on Rap side can gain pretty decent information. He just falls away now. No one from Astralis playing within the B bomb site, so I mean, this almost feels like they're willing to play retake. Dupreeh's boosted up, so he can peer over the smoke. And Fallen actually posturing that smoke as if they were going to wrap towards CT spawn, so maybe making them a little bit nervous, but that hasn't pulled any of the rotations away. No reason to really cheat or rotate when you have a man advantage like this.
Yeah, still holding it down. Fallen can tip the favour here. We'll see if he can catch out Glaive or peek up to find dupreeh. That's brilliant! Fallen, if the follow-up happened, it would be god tier, but not to be. Glaive now readies himself. He knows that that wave is about to break upon the shore, and it's Glaive again to find coldzera, who just tried to make the most of that situation, but couldn't claim it through. Now Taco has to recover the bomb, has to find his way, and has to get past 3 players. It's looking less and less likely the more I explain this.
Yeah, right? Everything just going gets him at the moment. He's at least going to get the plant. And he's running through the Molotov as well. He's not going to get the plant whatsoever, so Glaive through the flames is going to stop that. Nicely done from Astralis. Glaive there, yeah, manning it down. This Molotov was slowing things down. I think it split them up a little bit. coldzera taking this fight. I think he found an edge he could get around. Thought he might be able to catch Glaive off guard. It's not going to happen. But that peek from Fallen to even get dupreeh boosted up is pretty brilliant.
Absolutely mad. Now, SK's money did start to dissipate, and it has kind of equated to this for the final round of the first half. And let's be honest here, Astralis recovered quite handily. It was quite surprising because it looked like SK had control of this, and well, there we go. Fur punishes Device for being a little bit more aggressive than usual. Peeking down mid a little further, or maybe just reading the game even better, and Glaive going to be punished for the same thing. Fallen, happy to pick that up.
Yeah, this has been a really, really tough round. That's a lot of, I mean, Fur picked up the pace, surely. Device hasn't seen that look this entire half, and he thought he was going to be safe. kjaerbye helps alleviate some of it with one pick, and Fur, he's just waiting up in mid, and he's got the read on this. I think he sees the shadow and definitely sees the trajectory of the nade. It's all on Xyp9x, and if there's anyone to do it, it would be him. felps looks like he wants to lead the way. Fallen would be an easy spray down if they go for this. They're going to fall back.
Or are they doing mollies, or what are they doing? They don't have mollies, they're just here.
I mean, this is something that Astralis does many times, is get a strong position, get a strong lead in terms of manpower, and then just sit and wait and be patient and wait the opponents out. But this is tough. Xyp9x is such a good defender, and Fallen leading the way with the low HP, at least they'll know where he is.
And dupreeh being able to get this far around the back can kind of give away that there's no one dedicated coming towards him.
Here's the tough part. Taco is about to say that
there's no one
at A. They're going to fall back into this, and if they're not very wary... Now, dupreeh only has an AWP and a 5.7, so if he doesn't get this first shot, it might be for nothing, and it is. He gets the dink, but he can't finish it off. But that was the danger, and that might have been the last danger for SK in this round.
Yeah, they should be in a good stead now. Considering Fur was already ahead of the curve at A, you can see his great position kicking in right about...
And Astralis is very, very fortunate to get away from that half with 9 rounds. I mean, you consider that round number 9 was them winning with all USPs. That started a 4-round streak. Other than that, it seemed like SK had just had massive amounts of advantages. Now on the CT side... Here's a boost over the top just to get a cheeky 1 kill, and first spots the top of the head, but can't connect. That's a tough shot to hit.
It's a lovely little peek, though. Like that. Nade does follow, though, but armor and CSGO, just, not much damage done. And this is a nice replay, not of the pistol round. Can we? Yeah, thank you. I was just like, oh, someone's got a UMP in the first round.
That was the round I was talking about, though.
Don't listen to Jason. What are you doing? Why are they like? They don't listen to me like this.
It's the alpha.
It is. You just alphaed the hell out of production room. They're just like, oh god, he's talking about something. Just cue it up.
Well, felps is going to be on the Rap side looking for the intel of what's coming. This is a double pit setup as well. Glaive's got the utility, and he's just thrown it out now. Flashbang up mid, that's going to push felps back, and actually that's where the smoke goes. This looks like it's going to be a B split. This looks like that's exactly where they want to go.
That'd be so nice for them as well, considering there's that really, really potent crossfire already set up in towards pit that you just don't want to mess with. felps kind of finding it hard to be relevant in this and just gets caught on the way out as he adjusts. Might have bought that B split and head right back around towards A. They have pulled the player out of pit, so it becomes more likely, but Taco puts on a bit of a show, and it was actually coldzera finding dupreeh in the end, but still, Taco doing what he can, holding this one together. Fallen now becomes even more relevant. Bomb is dropped, but re-picked up back into the hands of Device, who's making it all the way around towards B, and who's over there right now? It's Fur. So Fur might be in for a bit of a surprise. He's going to hear the steps, kind of wondering, like, guys, how? Okay, someone's planting here, but kjaerbye's not going to expect this.
No, certainly not. And Fur could have even stopped the plant as well. That's a shot you almost feel like we could have missed that one easily.
Don't go
Device in a
full
1-on-3. Cold is so very low. There it is. Can't connect the shot, though, whatsoever. Cold responds in really awkward position. Felps playing with danger eventually eats too many bullets behind that smoke, and it's Taco who really steps it up big with that 1 kill and just continuing to survive. That was just 1 death away from that A bomb site collapsing.
Yeah, it was very much on a knife's edge, but SK picking up is so imperative for them as well. Just an easy way to get themselves right back up on that scoreline.
Really cool as well from Fur, that positioning. I was thinking he was going to stop the plan as soon as he heard Device start putting it down, but he was patiently waiting for the player to come from Banana. I mean, if he does swing out and maybe Device notices him and gets off and survives, then he's just kind of sandwiched. So pretty smart play with him to allow the plant and just ensure, you know, what is an easy kill, basically.
How dare they throw away the Bison? The Bison?
Did they accidentally buy one?
Yeah, they did. They brought an extra and they had to, they tried to throw out the map.
Bison would have been great in this round. There's only 1 player with armor.
Yeah. It's a great gun. Totally underrated. It's horrific. Never listen. Device with the armor and the eagle. Don't know if he's going to be able to do anything with this one, though.
Taco's taking a lot of damage. I think he must have gotten dinked up by a P250 at range or tagged up somehow. He's down at 14. He's got to play in the pit. Play pretty passively as well. So Device is going to try and assert himself with the deagle. Sees the shoulder, going for the shot at the corner. Not able to do it. And this is basically just Astralis. It's a hive mentality, just following this deagle around.
Yeah, I like the MLG sticker on it as well, so you can get your full like 360s in. But this is a nice crossfire anyway. Fur gets the attention. Fallen. I thought he'd maybe get a little bit more than that, considering there wasn't that much armor on the side, but he doesn't. And Fur's just sticking around, but great flash from him. Sets him up perfectly to make this play. And Device now suffering on such a low HP, merely being put out of his misery more than anything. And Fur, you need bullets to take the fight. Needs to be reminded of that. Xyp9x now only with the P250. Still can do some damage here. Taco's low, but it's unlikely they're going to lose out on too much more.
Yeah, no, not at all. Even though 2 kills is not bad, this is going to be the round with that plant and the pistol they're going to buy here. Could tell by the way they saved, so SK's got to know it's coming. 3 UMPs going to stick around, 2 M4s just to follow it up. For, yeah, with a great flashbang as well. Overly aggressive as well. I mean, it pays off for him here with the bonus money, but if he falls there, could start to get a little bit scary.
Could have been, but look how bad the buy is as well, though, for Astralis. It's still like a Tech 9, still got UMPs. It's not much. On the other side, SK can just kind of, you know, the UMPs are so viable when you've got all that utility with you as well. It becomes a lot more of a clean-cut picture, but we'll see what they can achieve with them.
And that Molotov is really nice for Fur, pushes him away, but because of the counter Molotov from SK, they can't really capitalize on any of it. So you can see Astralis, they're posturing very quickly, just a line of terrorists right at the top of mid. A couple players in halls, it's dupreeh and Xyp9x. Xyp9x going to lurk the halls. Here it comes through the smoke, coldzera. He's got a nade in his hand. They're going to round this corner. This is going to be so dangerous. A firing squad. kjaerbye gets 2. Taco's got to hold on a little bit longer. They're coming up. He gets a little dink, but he can't find the kill, and there's kjaerbye with a 3rd in the round.
Taco finding Xyp9x, though, was so big. If he'd got around the back then and been able to get the flank, that would have been even cleaner, but it wasn't. Fallen now has a chance to play back into this, and Glaive kind of caught out, facing from pit. Maybe didn't need to be that open about it, but now it's a 2v2. Nice angle from kjaerbye. Gets to play the crossfire well. That's sloppy, but he makes up for it in the end, picks up the kill, and now Fallen trying to play into this one. It's 4 kills for kjaerbye here. Could it be his 5th? Glaive going to readjust, make it even more tricky, and Fallen now knows this one might be impossible. It is the ace for kjaerbye, but those first 3 were manic.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about one of the best players in the world making a big mistake. coldzera picking the wrong time. Maybe the timing just not with him, but that Molotov in his hand really, really bit him because he was the first contact. He's what indicates that the hit is coming. And when he falls back, they have no angle to really take that fight on whatsoever.
Yeah, a little curious. I wonder if we could see the start of that round again. Just that it slowed down possibly or something such. But it is the tactical timeout coming in now, but SK won't be able to buy into the next round, really. It's the one probably following that more than anything.
And that's a really nice, really aggressive call from Astralis. That's one of the things we didn't really see at SK with how slow and calculated their T-side was. This was just Astralis saying everyone is going to blow up through these smokes at the same exact time, and we're just going to overwhelm whatever we find. They did exactly that.
We've seen a couple of those teams doing that kind of explosive hit coming out of like boiler, straight up mid. It's especially great if you catch people like in that kind of in mid flux, right? If they're actually playing actively towards like diggity and they're trying to maybe back towards pit or back towards site, you're in such a good spot to just catch them in transition. But for now, SK do buy up to a lighter degree. No armor to supplement these pistols, but they do have at least a flash and a smoke there. Deagles, CZs and such. But on the other side, of course, Astralis still with a decent buy.
Yeah, SK's bought enough though where they have some danger in this round, but they're still going to be able to purchase in the next one. It's only Fur who's really a little bit low on money, sitting around 1,300 right now. Other than that, everyone's above 2K. 2 flashbangs on Taco, and he's in the pit. So you imagine this would be some kind of a situation where if Fallen and coldzera fall away, as soon as they notice there's some kind of mid-control coming from Astralis, they can counter-flash it. Molotov isolates felps. No aggression from Astralis to follow it up, though.
And I wonder how regimented they are at checking on this. And now it's all felps. You're all alone, bud. Have fun. Just the pre-firing kjaerbye whirling around the corner. Still finds him, but you can see the damage he took for that. That was 2 HP. Fallen. Oh, caught out by dupreeh pushing up a little bit closer. And now, Astralis just kind of working off the back of this. There is still Taco on the site, but you know, none of these guys have armor, so any kills are actually quite impressive. Nice little flash there towards quad. But now position duly noted. The molly's going to come raining in. One more to follow, allows him to push out. And the bomb actually not coming this way. Even in rounds like this, they're pulling off fakes.
I mean, Taco's only real option is to be aggressive. They know exactly where he is, so you see he has to kind of try and force the issue with the fight. Might not even matter, though. He's just kind of stalled out here. He knows he's at a disadvantage everywhere he goes, so he wins that battle against dupreeh, immediately traded. That AK will get picked up by Xyp9x later on in the round. It's only Fer left, and Astralis can go basically anywhere they want. Interesting from kjaerbye, 2 HP at an off angle, but staying on his own. That's a situation where Fer might be able to find that if he keeps pushing forward.
Yeah, it's actually kind of likely. Let's have a look at Fer if we can. Or maybe kjaerbye.
It's really a tough off angle though for Fer to check. I mean, you imagine he clears right, but just can't see him behind that panel. Yeah. Haven't seen the op out on the SK side quite yet on the CT. They haven't been able to build up enough money to do it. Device had it in his hand pretty much the entirety of that last half.
Yeah, very, very different start to things here for SK. Bit of a shame for them not being able to get that money built up just so early. You feel that maybe there could be a bit more of a rebuttal. Of course, losing into the third to kind of put them on the back foot here. So, spam through to the apartments allows the Astralis players some form of safety to play up towards this. Taco actually being kind of reminded of that. He's going to have to back away, and actually they do lose control of apartments, even with that little bit of a scuffle to begin with.
I forced out a smoke pretty early on from Taco as well, which would have been nice for him to have. Only 2 smokes left on the SK side of things. Fallen and Fer posturing at the top of Banana. This is going to be tough. 3 players of Astralis here. There's Molotovs as well. They're going to come out everywhere. Flashbangs also. Fer makes it out without taking too much damage. Down to 89. He's going to get boosted up. No, he's not.
Maybe not fancying it.
Fallen wanted it.
Yeah, he was ready.
He was keen. Mid control at the top mid. It's glaive, Xyp9x, and dupreeh have taken control of it, and SK just backs away. Taco still staying in the pit. coldzera in the site. Felps watching over towards Rap side. But Astralis isn't really trying to get aggressive anywhere else at the moment. They're content to just sit with the map control they do have and see if SK is going to peek into them.
This is the same setup that Astralis had, so it'll be interesting. They're not quite as aggressive this time as well. It looks like maybe coldzera's playing a little bit closer to the big box on towards the A side, but well, Astralis haven't fully committed anywhere. They're still showing presence by B. They still have the bomb there as well, so they pulled that one over. It's going to be Fallen and possibly Fer to try and handle this.
And dupreeh's turned into a lurker here. Once this hit on the B bomb side comes in, that's when dupreeh is going to choose to pounce, try and cut off someone rotating over in CT spawn. Felps might just circumvent him a little bit, though, but coldzera definitely susceptible to it.
Yeah, first flash is coming, the volley comes out, Fallen, they line up for him, but he just can't land it in time. The counter, of course, is always Xyp9x, it seems, and Fer not going to be able to pull off a kjaerbye at this point, it seems. Down to 5 seconds, the bomb is now an issue. 3 seconds, they can't plant.
No, it's down. They spammed him right through the smoke. Bit fortunate for SK, and that's going to be a little bit of a bummer. It seemed like Astralis was going to be able to take that one, but just no time on the clock to really work for it. That's fortunate for SK. That's very nice.
That could have been a little bit different. It was, you know, thinnest of margins, and we see now both teams doing this very slow, very, I don't know, very on a knife's edge. It can either go very right or very wrong, it feels.
You could see both teams have taken control of different parts of the map. Like top mid is one that both teams have gotten control of. They're not really contesting it too aggressively on the CT side. But when Ts get it, they're looking for some kind of aggression, looking for the CTs to try and take it back or find some kind of information. Neither of the teams really giving them any kind of mistake to work with.
You're all right. And now, again, SK taking steps closer to maybe getting those AWPs up and everything else they could actually want here, but it still feels like a little further away than they'd like. This set piece coming out from Astralis. This could be that fast piece towards quad right now. I'm not sure if they're going to go off on it again, but it looks somewhat similar.
It looks like they might switch it up and try and go towards felps. No, they're supposed to the left side. dupreeh's coming up. felps has no information. He's got to be
they're
careful.
faking it. This is nice. They're trying to fake that aggressive play, but it's kind of worked and it kind of hasn't. Device going down is the problem, but look at felps right in between them. There's 3 players here. The bomb's still over at Banana. This split is very much all over the place, and no one knows what's going on.
Yeah, felps knows one's gotten into CT spawn, but I mean, look at this weird battle here as well. Taco brings dupreeh so very low. This round has gotten incredibly hectic. SK's got to know he's coming, and there it is. They handle it nicely. Good communication from felps, making sure his teammates heard the call. He was toying with the smoke and one snuck by. But now him and coldzera have a very good crossfire on Rap side, but coldzera stuck out in the open. That's a losing fight. No man's land there, and felps is going to be the one to come in for the next fight. Easy kill on a Glade, not suspecting that whatsoever.
Absolutely not. And you're going to be pretty much depending on Xipnix here. dupreeh is so low on 3 HP. I wouldn't say irrelevant, that's harsh, but he can't be the one to make this happen. He cannot be the instigator of these fights, but Xipnix is good at this. Taco, he's got to stay alive somehow in this situation. Try and find some sort of reasoning to make this happen for SK. 13 seconds now. Taco in the fight with dupreeh. dupreeh's only got 3 HP. It's going to be the bomb going down. And they've somehow made this look maybe a little bit closer than it might be. dupreeh, I don't know how much relevance he can have, but he's going to give it a damn good go. 3 HP in a dream at this point. And where is Xipnix as well? Still stuck on the site, so this is going to be a hard one to hold here.
Yeah, I mean, dupreeh just stuck in a really awkward spot where he had to try and make some kind of a play to help his teammate, but no HP with which to do it. Dicey round. That was one where I think felps didn't necessarily need to peek from library with the clock that low, but he gives up a kill, gets him into the bomb site. A plant for Astralis is going to be nice, and a couple kills to deal some damage to the economy. Let Astralis in this round maybe a half buy if they choose to go for that. Maybe some deagles, some upgraded pistols. But yeah, I mean, the real interesting portion of that round was, I mean, it just got so hectic for a while within those smokes, didn't it?
Like, it looked like they wanted to fake that aggressive hit that they pulled off before through, like, quad, and then kind of split a couple of players off towards B initially, and then maybe split themselves through CT, which would have been great, but, yeah, as said, one getting behind the smoke, the other's not making it that far. It just kind of went into mayhem. Now we're going to see a partial buy-up. A couple of Tech 9s out there. A couple of people with armor. kjaerbye and Device could be having the armor. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. And that's your lot.
Look how cautious SK is playing at the B bomb site. Everyone's fallen in further, not even challenging top of Banana as they have been earlier in this half. Xipnix alone with the bomb up towards mid. Even the defense at A is playing very, very reserved, using the range of these rifles against what they know are going to be pistols. Only 1 smoke for this B bomb site. Could actually do some work, though, since both players are playing towards the CT spawn side. That could be a little bit dangerous.
Could be.
I mean, I don't think it can really change the outcome of the round, especially I think Fallen might cross over now, but it could definitely allow Astralis to get another plant, which would give them a great buy in the next round.
Yeah, and this is still, you know, a very... It's a game that's won by small events working out favorably towards you as well. Very important to this sort of matchup. Nice work from Fallen. There it is. Don't need to see them. Between him and Fur, they handle it all. No player left standing, particularly apart from Xipnix. There's one.
You could get a plant here. No, nope, there's the jump through.
What?
Doesn't see him.
And he gets a bomb plant? Fur.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising they got, you know, he was allowed to get away with that, but great for Astralis. Surprising for SK.
Yeah, it's not the biggest deal. I mean, it's going to allow some extra utility, but it would have been a buy in the next round either way. Still, it's just kind of, you know, in a 4-on-1. Yeah, I mean, Fallen just has the angle there, and the one boosted up as well kind of secures that.
Yep. Never lets it go. Oh, this is exciting. Now, not only, okay, good buy for Astralis, but the more important thing in my eyes, we finally get to see Fallen with the AWP as well. Haven't really had much of a view at it yet.
And he's going to go over towards the B bomb site with it initially. We saw Device start out rounds here pretty frequently. No one challenging from Astralis, though, at the base of Banana. There's a deep smoke there, so they're going to be held back. Yeah, look at all this utility that's just used right off the bat from both teams. A lot of Molotovs, a lot of nades. And this is similar, I mean, to what we saw earlier. SK, this is the setup that really lost them that third round, was the 3 players in this lane side. It was the mistiming on coldzera. And here it comes. Same exact plays going up against each other. This time, felps is boosted up, gets first contact. But now someone comes out of halls. This is going to be a disaster for SK. There it is. Xipnix with 2 coming out of halls at the right time. And they've swarmed the bomb site.
Last time it was Taco who won that 1v1 and denied Xipnix coming out. This time you can see what happens when he succeeds. It completely pinches the players who tries to fight towards quad. Now it's retake time. Fallen and Fur, you're trying to play retake with an AWP here on a map that just does not lend to this. 2 players in very good after plant positions in towards pit. And still one on the side as well.
I think if you're in this situation, if you're SK, you take a leaf out of the Astralis book and you're saving this round, you'd like to stick around close enough to get some exit kills, knowing that this was, you know, a heavy investment in this round from Astralis. If you can take 2 more guns away from them, if you force all those rebuys, keep the economy low, that's a win in itself. Fallen's going to do just that onto kjaerbye. These remaining 2 players can survive in the pit.
Yep.
And I want to know if Fer, I don't think he's going to get aggressive. He might try and do it, but no. Actually, yes, he is. Yeah, here he comes for the run. Doesn't spot him at all, so nice repositioning from Astralis after the bomb explodes.
Yeah, this is it. Last time, as I said, there was one player here watching it. That time he pulled up to help him out because they had the player boosted up towards the kind of second plant pot, I guess it is, or, you know, what if basket, plant basket.
Yeah.
Double orb now.
I mean, that defense has got to be designed to get more kills than that on the initial attack, just because if they are trading players, that's why Taco's attention is taken away from Halls, because his teammates are falling, they're fighting, he feels like he needs to support him, and if he doesn't, then he's screwed from lane, and if he does, then he's screwed from Halls. So pick your poison. They just didn't get enough success off the initial bout.
Yeah. So Fallen coldzera this time with the ops, and that's a surprise. dupreeh not going to expect that one. Just sent packing off the balcony ledge. And now coldzera falls back, readjusts, switches this one up, and changes it around.
It is pretty interesting. We've seen, you know, the double op setup, Cold and Fallen, was so dangerous in last year, and that was one of the big reasons why this team was so difficult to beat. We've seen a lot of Taco and Fallen opping these days recently.
Yeah, Cobblestone, it was Taco, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he went massive.
He is massive.
He is massive.
But now slower approach from Astralis as well. Hitting the brakes a little bit here. Kind of hard to work back into this. They know that there's going to be AWPs up. They know there's probably double up now here and Fallen over there too. It's kind of putting them, I guess, a little uneasy. And I don't blame them either. I would be as well, knowing one of these 2 would be against me, let alone both. Now, Fer going to be boosted up. Falling back to the not-so-new box.
This is going to be a tough spot from here. If they can Molotov him, that's going to make him feel so uncomfortable. He'll be forced out with an AWP. That's not the exact fight you want to take with that weapon, obviously. Luckily, Fer is boosted up.
Here we go. The hit finally starts to begin. The smoke comes in. The flash comes out. It was their flash towards pit. Fallen just waiting so patiently. This is the crossfire. This is what they're banking on. And they're going to have to hit these shots, and they don't. Fer does get played in so well, though. Even finding one dropping down. That's massive, but can Fallen even follow up, though? Molly comes out from Xyp9x, now pinned in. He does, fighting his way forward here. And Device is trying to make it out alive, but being caught in the heels by the shot slowing him down. And Fer wants it all, but gets sent packing. Fallen to shut it down in the end. And between the 2 B players, they lock this round down.
Yeah, Fallen, he misses a couple shots there, but the one he hits is the hardest. I mean, thank God Fer's bursted up over the smoke, and he gets one as he's falling as well. That's Glaive. One Molotov just a little bit late, not coming out towards triple boxes. 12-12, and that's Astralis. The money's gone. It's going to have to be another... Actually, they fully invest into this round. They have one AK-47 on kjaerbye. Everyone's bought out. Xyp9x has a... No, everyone's bought out to whatever they could possibly do. So this is a huge round for Astralis now. They've invested a lot. Fer being aggressive. He could be caught off by Device. He should check this, though, and no, he's not going to. Device is going to get that kill easily. A mistake, but Fallen rectifies the situation.
Fallen forever, it seems like the savior here. If things look a little down and out, he just seems to be able to find it and get it back to hand, but he's very much on his own at B, by the way. He needs to be kind of careful. There is still that rifle on kjaerbye. There is still some threat on board.
He's trying to find one kill because he knows they're going to chase down that weapon, right? So he wants to, you know, he knows they've got to expose themselves to his angle if they want to pick up the rifle. Just wanted to get one more kill, but nice flashes. That's a lot of utility used to get that one rifle, though, so pretty even trade, all things considered. They still only have a P250 on Xyp9x and a Tech 9 on dupreeh.
They do retain 2 of the smokes, at least. So they can still make a side hit happen, but it's not looking so likely. With coldzera finding kjaerbye, who is one of the players who did have the rifle, and now Fallen as well, holding that sort of angle. You're not getting any play here, boys. That's it.
This is why it's a little bit interesting that Astralis goes for this kind of a buy-up. With a double-up setup, if you're going to force like that, you don't have necessarily the utility to block all these angles. That's really exposing you to Cold over at one bomb site, Fallen over at B. And these ops, they weren't able to handle in the round. And now in the next one, they're just giving more of a cushion to SK. They're not going to get a plant. They're not really injuring the economy. So, I mean, a chance for SK to get up towards 14 pretty cleanly.
Yeah. SK building right back into this. It always surprises me how quickly they recover. No matter the scoreline, no matter how, you know, a half starts or how it looks, they just seem to be able to switch it right back around. Regain that control. dupreeh just going to try and stay alive.
He's being hunted.
He is. There's players everywhere, but none of them able to find him. So we'll survive with that one rifle. And Astralis' money, how bad is it right now?
Well, it's bad enough for a tactical pause. They've got
Yeah.
3 players sitting right around 2,000. I'm not sure dupreeh saved that weapon, so he didn't get any bonus money. He's at 400, so he has an AK, a Molotov, and head armor. He could get a smoke or 2 flashes, but that might be the only weapon they have in this.
Yeah, I guess the discussion then needs to be turned towards what happens when we do have the buy. How do we break back into this? Because it felt like a little while they had that nice hit that kind of pinched them in towards quad, but that's about the only full buy hit that's been working for them.
They strung 2 rounds together off that one, but ever since it's been all SK. They've won 5 of the last 6. They've been on a very, very good run, including a hard reset, obviously. So it's been Fallen who's having a bit of a feel-good match. 24 and 17 for him. Fur and coldzera behind him at 18 and 15, and then the Astralis side of things. Device has 20 and 13. kjaerbye at 18. glaive at 15 are the top 3 for them.
Yeah, and it feels that, again, SK are going from strength to strength. We saw the addition of how, nicely it sat with Fallen just having the AWP. Then you add in, okay, now they can double AWP into it. We haven't seen them going for, like, some crazy aggression or pushing all the way down banana. None of that, really. They've been showing control, but they haven't gone for that very deep play. Now, again, I feel that this is maybe something they could go to if they require it, but they really haven't yet. coldzera, considering going full JW and just peeking right out of second, or down towards second mid through apps. Not going to go for it, though. Pretty advisable against Tech 9s and a P250 or 2.
I think glaive was tagged down to 10. Not quite sure exactly from what. I think it was probably Fallen with the AWP, and he bailed out all the way down to the bottom of the banana. So the main attack is going to be over towards this A-bomb site, and it's got to be dupreeh. I mean, how exactly is Astralis going to use him with the only rifle? He's just got to win a duel, and the tough part is with the double op setup, it's just where's the second op?
Yeah, you're just so unfavored at this point. And again, feeling like maybe they can do this kind of quick hit with limited amounts. I'm not too sure. Lovely little counter boost to give you a stranger angle working around. coldzera obviously wouldn't be pre-aiming that, so it's quite a nice little switch up there, just an individual change. Felps will be playing towards CT Arch. The flash comes in. They don't have any utility left now. It's just Astralis going in for this one. And dupreeh can't make it count. He had a glimpse of coldzera. He got excited for it. And then Taco just snatches it away from him. And now coldzera tries to play back in. Have to be careful, but puts a little bit of flair on that. SK taking control of the game now.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of frustration on dupreeh as well. I mean, that's not the easiest shot to hit, easiest kill. But yeah, great job by Taco playing off his teammates so well. He's been doing it all games. Just some very critical kills here and there. And that time, quick peek down and then aggressive in holes to clear out his own position. And yeah, Astralis, what do they have left? The end of this half, I mean, this is the tough part. That one buy they had just a bit ago, this is kind of the result. All of these buys towards the end of this half have just been a little bit broken. 2 Tech 9s, 3 AK-47s, and not a whole lot of utility to speak of. So in economic disarray, Astralis hasn't been able to find anything.
Yeah, they do look a little dumbfounded for an answer for this entirety. They've had maybe 1 or 2 pieces that have worked for them. Beyond that, it's been kind of clutching at straws here. And SK have gone from, strength to strength, looking like they've kind of improved as they've gone along here. It looked, a little bit shakier at the start. Yeah. The first half, it was, sitting with Astralis almost. But then, the swing around about hits in. And again, it looks like we might be seeing a quicker play coming out through possibly Boiler. A little bit of smoke towards CT Arch. Flash through towards quad, and away we go. But this time SK are playing way further back. This makes it way more tricky for Astralis to make this hit count, but completely smoked off. Taco able now to focus down towards that balcony, and now Felps is under pressure on the site, and this crossfire is holding strong here. Taco still alive is a huge problem, and glaive with an AWP just doesn't seem that threatening.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the bomb as well. It's dropped inside the bomb site. A great crunch. Felps with 2 kills. Taco from the pit has 2 as well. Nothing going for Astralis, and glaive is now sandwiched here between 3 players. He's got no avenue of escape, and I mean, he missed his opportunity. Could have gotten aggressive on Taco, but you can't really do that so much anymore. Not knowing where the other members of SK are, and there's Fur pouncing from behind. 15th round map point. SK on the verge of making it to the stage here at IEM Sydney.
It's a huge moment for these guys as well to get themselves straight there. No messing around, no threat left on the board until that moment you walk out on the stage.
This is straight. No, would this be straight
playoffs?
Okay. Yeah.
15 to 12.
And then this is going to be another round where there's just not a whole lot that Astralis can bring into this fight. UMPs, yeah, they'll have the utility at least this time, but glaive's going to be on an AK. In order to do that, he's really sacrificed what kind of no, he has a good amount of utility. Never mind about that. But 2 Tech 9s, two UMPs. They have the utility, but like, how are you going to duel against AWPs on this one? They've been able to find the kills whenever they've wanted them.
Yeah, they haven't had an answer to them yet. Even on full buys, even with device with an up, it hasn't clicked for them just yet. So what the answer might be, who knows? It's been hard to push them off of B. It's been hard to push them anywhere. SK have stayed very much in control, aggressively playing throughout this. And coldzera might just want to add insult to injury, get that salt ready, and douse it on the wound. But he only spots one, and he will back away from it. Doesn't outstay his welcome, doesn't allow it to be run over by second mid in case they try to punish that. And Astralis again now. Let's see what that plan might become.
That boost again over towards the B bomb site right on that corner so Fallen can peer down over top. We saw it on pistol round, haven't really seen it a whole lot since then. Would be interesting to see if it gets him a kill, and actually kjaerbye goes right underneath it. This could be dangerous.
That boost here.
Yeah.
We saw it on the pistol.
This would have to be perfect from Fallen, but I mean that's helpful. That actually might have saved Fallen as that next player coming up because they have no knowledge that kjaerbye's that close.
Yeah. They are going to have to become a little more humble here, but Glaive and dupreeh taking a lot of damage, and they were taking the fight over in mid, it seems.
Yeah, dupreeh's going to be happy with the damage he took for that kill, though.
Absolutely. Finally, maybe they have a way back into this, but it still feels like a long way off, let's be honest. They've had first picks before. It's a slow round now. Smokes come out. It's a shallow one towards CT. Taco going to position here. Look towards the apartments. No one's there yet. They're down to 37 seconds. This could be huge, actually. Taco, the right timing. He's going to control himself as well. Finally unleashes towards Xyp9x, and that's a huge loss. That's
really smart as well. At this juncture in the game, don't try and do too much. Just get the secured kill, fall back. Oh no, coldzera shuts down dupreeh through the smoke. It's all on this B hit, and that's going to be Fallen. The waiting arms of the second AWP. Fur there for the support, and that's it.